It's like it's making the school more worse.
How?
Like they don't have enough money to get hand wash. They have enough money to take us on good trips and other stuff.
Do you think this is a very big problem for schools?
Yeah.
Because interventions are seen as to be very important by the school, the pupils that are targeted for interventions are students that are falling behind from their target grades. So it gives you a chance to revise over topics that you didn't do so well in, to catch up. So really, spending that money on ink and paper is part of improving your educational outcomes. And it's making sure that where you've done a test or where you've done some work and you're falling behind, that you catch up on it rather than just move on. And I think it really helps for students to sit there and go over things that they've done in the past, which they obviously move on in their classrooms.
Most people don't, they say that they manage.
You gain as much as you put in. So when you're spending that 3 hours a week there from 3:45 to 4:45, the booklets are there, it's got information in there, you need to revise, you need to utilise that time. And if you think that the material can be improved, the head of that department, you can always give them feedback and say, Miss, how about doing something different? Because student feedback is always welcome and appreciated. Everyone's got a chance to improve. Fortunately, the canteen, they're not part of the school. So all the canteen staff, they are employed separately by Tower Hamlets, and they provide the lunches as part of a business enterprise for them. So it's not like if it was part of the school, then we don't want to make a profit, we just want to serve the students with the food. The food prices have gone up everywhere, they need to pay their staff salaries, they need to pay their staff pensions, and they've increased the prices for them to break even. And as there are fewer and fewer students eating in the dining hall anyway, they're really struggling with providing a service for us and managing their own costs. So unfortunately, they have to raise the prices. They provide us a service, the staff aren't employed by us, and any money, any profit that's made doesn't come into the school at all. The school has improved the toilets. The school councillors have raised the issues about the toilets many times. They're cleaned every day, like after break time, after lunch time, after school. So toilets are actually cleaned more frequently than they were ever done before. So there have been lots of improvements made in that area. I think what we also need to learn is, as students, we need to look after. Yeah, you need to look after your toilets, your provisions. And sadly, amongst the 1,000 or so students that we have, a few individuals go in and leave it in a condition that they wouldn't like to find it in themselves. But improvements have definitely been made. I can say that for myself. I've seen the head teacher himself checking up on staff that should be cleaning the toilets, and they are cleaned after break, after lunch, and after school 3 times each day. Sixth form building has its own funding, so as the school expanded and as we had a sixth form centre, sixth form, and our sixth form has been expanding over the last 5 years, they have their separate funding come for that provision, and that comes from a separate funding source. If we didn't have a sixth form, then we wouldn't have that money coming in. Okay, so that money had to be on the sixth form. But in terms of improving our main building, I was at another open evening of a school yesterday, and I actually thought about how good our building looks in comparison to other schools. And actually, with Mr. Bhuta, every holiday there are different parts of the building that are improved. We've got new display boards, the school's painted regularly, where there's damage, the glass is replaced quickly. So actually, classrooms all go through a program of refurbishment every single year. So different parts of the building are improved every year. So actually our building's in quite a good condition in comparison to what other schools might look like. Historically, this tower block was built a long time ago, and that's how it was built, as a tower block. So we try and maintain it with the outside and the inside, but that's what we've inherited. There are cuts coming into place every single year, and what the head is trying to do is to offer children a good education and at the same time keep teachers enrolled and staff enrolled. How the cuts have impacted is 2 or 3 years ago, I myself had a budget for the community, for work around parents. Those budgets have become smaller and smaller every year, so we are struggling to buy things. So a few years ago, we had a lot of money to buy. Staff, there are fewer, like some areas, there are cuts in staffing because the money's not there anymore. So we are struggling to deliver a good education for our students, to offer you trips, to make things enjoyable, to make sure you have good learning going on in the classrooms with less and less financial resources. But they've definitely had an impact on everybody, and we are doing so much more work than we would have in the past because we're trying to do a similar amount of work with far less resources financially and with staffing as well. Okay, so I think Mr. Bhuta does a lot of this work around budgets, and I think what he needs to make sure, the core reason why you're here is to get a good education. Yeah, so he needs to make sure we've got good teachers in classrooms that give you good education. We need to make sure you've got the resources, and how he prioritizes is where there's a need for classroom teachers and learning and keeping class sizes that are suitable. That's where the first priority is. If we need a teacher for a subject area, we need a teacher. We could replace teachers, reduce teachers and have bigger class sizes, and that will impact on the kind of learning you get. So you're in year 9, you're in GCSE groups, and at the moment your class sizes are probably about 20, 21 students for history. But if that pushed up to 30, which we could do, have 30 in a GCSE class, it means you get less time for teaching, less time for feedback and one-to-one attention. So keeping class sizes good, keeping good teachers in place is first priority. And after that, we are offering as much as we can. There are some things that are being removed. Some things we're trying to see if we can find community partnerships and people offering us freebies where we can and taking those opportunities. But the priority is for good learning to take place in classrooms and for you to enjoy your learning as well. So all the provision that we have with the PE department and after school clubs and breakfast clubs, we haven't started to charge for any of those things at all. And you're in a very fortunate position to get those things for free. It's because we want you to learn but also to enjoy your school years here. So we're managing at the moment but being very creative with the budget, which is a challenge.
Do you think the government should give more money to schools so they have hand wash and go to better trips?
Yeah, I think they should give them more money, give the money back.